This podcast is intended for adults only. We do not condone the use of any illegal substances, and anything we consume is for educational purposes only.
Because, we should be afraid of a plant that grows from the ground. And, endocannabinoid system is, it's in your body and it produces cannabinoids. I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop because I'm going to rant. Just play the music, Mitch.
False guys we idolize, yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my talk is lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up.
You're listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Mitch Narito.
And this is Eric Esteban. And it's the post 420 episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It's it's also, and as you know, when we always start the show, before we start the podcast, we smoke first. So we took advantage of the sale that was going on 420. I know I did. And I got my favorite brand. I got 2 half-ounce bags of my favorite brand, Cam, which I will shout out. Cam is a great brand, great consistent brand, and it's a corporate brand, but it's also a female-owned brand. Mm-hmm. So the CEO is female, and the owner of the company is female. So, hey, I'm all for supporting those type of businesses, and Cam is a great product. So
yeah. I definitely picked up some Cam too. Mm-hmm. And then I picked up a bunch of pre-rolls. I even got a vape. Like I got a surprisingly good deal. Like for 420. Like I went in on Saturday. I picked up a bunch of stuff just because I knew I was going to be going around and whatnot, and it was great.
I was hardcore. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning on 420, and I went, and because I knew that the shop opened at 6 a.m. and I got one of the first goodie bags, so it was full, and then I knew the manager of the place because it's kind of the spot that I frequented. And I frequent whenever I gotta go. But he was like, "Oh man, I haven't seen you in a while," and I was like, "Yeah, it's really only because I had to throw away a pound of weed." And he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I told him the story of the mold, and he was very sympathetic, and so he was very empathetic, and he gave me a whole bunch of free stuffs, which was really nice.
I didn't get any free stuff.
Yeah, I got a big free goodie bag full of like pre-rolls and some edibles, and then some non-edibles, which were frustrating because I snuck them into work and then I didn't eat them, and then I ate them and I realized that they were just candy, and I was like, which was frustrating, but that was okay too, because then the sleep infused by Canna. I had the blue raspberry flavored sleep infused ones, or the ones that help you sleep. Mm-hmm. Man, last night I had a migraine that you wouldn't believe, and those saved my life. Gave me at least a half a good night's sleep, which was wonderful. But man, yeah, shout out to them because that was a delicious, but also it was relief. It was great. And the more that I think about the edibles not working for me, I really do feel like it's more about I'm already so stoned all the time that I can't tell the difference if I have an edible. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's I don't feel it, because obviously last night it helped me fall asleep and get rid of my headache and let me have a restful sleep. So
on like actual 420 on Sunday, I went to Disneyland. And
you go to Disneyland often though. You're like a season ticket holder.
Yeah. I mean, like it's better than me spending money. Like I don't have to spend, like I'm already spending money over there. Like I get free parking, like all that stuff. So it just makes sense. It's not too far. I'm not driving out like a long ways. So, it's just good to get away. Like,
sure.
But every time I go,
you don't have to justify your Disneyland, obsession.
Oh no, I like it. I don't mind.
You do your thing. You're a Disney adult.
It's like I don't go to the beaches in LA, like around Los Angeles.
Why don't you go to the beach though?
Well, like the beaches in LA are not very contaminated.
I mean, and to be honest, like I will say, I even though I was in Hawaii recently, I like the beach and I love the beach and it's beautiful, but I can't. After a while, like okay, I've been to beach for the day.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't got to be at the beach again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It just that got a little monotonous for me.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Like like growing up out here, I took the beach for granted. I didn't go to the beach a lot growing up, but I did go to the amusement parks. I hit up Universal a lot, Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland.
Yeah, I have a weird taste in my mouth for Universal because I used to work at City Walk.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's just a weird time. When you spend 4 New Year's Eves in a row at City Walk, it'll change your life.
Yeah. But so like when I went to Disneyland, I took some edibles. I realized like I had to cut down on the dosage.
Really?
Because I was doing the hash tabs. Like they're like they're the little pills.
Okay.
But they come in.
How do those work for you?
They not like if I take a whole one is like 100 milligrams. And it can get intense. Like it gets.
Well, by intense, what do you mean? Like an intense high. But what do you mean?
Like it'll feel like I'm actually like dabbing because like I'm not a big fan of like dabbing.
Sure.
I'll smoke hash, but then like it can be like where I can't function, like or I feel like I can't function because like
really
because dude, like whenever we do Ube World, like what's his name, Ryan will offer me like a quick dab before the show. I'm like, yeah, dude, I can't operate like that. Like I think you took one.
Oh yeah.
I can't do it. It's just like. It's just like taking a bunch of shots right before going up. Like I get,
which I've done as well.
No. But like I mean, it's the difference between like me being like mediocre versus like being like
mediocre.
No, for real. Like because like versus like looking like I totally don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay.
Because I've been on stage where I've been too high. And I'm just like, my set's out of my head.
No, I've been at those shows where you've been too high.
Yeah. I don't care.
I probably got you too high.
Yeah. But like, so I've been taking for the longest time. I've been taking like 100 to 200 milligrams of this of these edibles.
The hash tabs you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like, I'll take them early in the day, like 1 or 2, and they'll last the whole day, right? Like, but there'll be, like, some point in the day where I'm standing in line, and it's just like, whoa, there's a lot right now. I'm just standing in line, there's a lot of stuff coming at me.
And so it hits you obviously more like an edible then.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an edible.
Yeah.
It's an edible. But, like, I've noticed... like the last time I went, I took like 100, 150, somewhere around there. And like I had to take a nap. Like
where did you take a nap in?
Like on the bench. Like I just had like I told Barbara, I was like, hey babe, I just need to take a nap for like 10 minutes. Like I need to shut my brain off for a little bit, right? But like, I had my sunglasses on, like no one knew it. Like I had,
you had your sunglasses on and you just leaned against your wife.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But then I was just like, damn, like I'm sluggish, like I'm really slow. Like it's really hard. So like, I cut back. I started taking like half of what I'm taking, and like, I wish I could re-up, like, because I get really paranoid. Like I don't want to try to sneak things. I've done it. I'll just do it before I.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't want to be busted in a place for weed because I'm trying to sneak it in.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I just don't want to deal with it because then like, you got to walk back to parking.
Well, like I remember I did that once when I was at Disneyland where I was with my kids and my wife and we were meeting some of my older daughter's friends.
Yeah,
and I had some joints in my hip pack, and I forgot that I had them. But then I would just like walking, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot that I have these joints. And they're like, it'll be fine. And then my wife was like, no, it won't. Go put those back in the car. And I was like, but then I gotta wait in this line again. And she was like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, see, no, like I've brought, like I always have to double check.
Have you gotten caught?
No, not caught, but like I've gone through security, and I forget that I have stuff in there because I'll just throw stuff in like like a bag, and then I'll just be like, I'll take this bag today, right? And I forget about it. And there was one time where I was going through security, I had all my stuff out in my pockets already, like I'm like ready to walk through, and the security guard was like, excuse me, sir, what is this? And I was like, what is what? Right? She pulled out a tube, and it had like a fatty in it.
Nice.
Right? Like, and she's like, sir, you can't take this into the park. I was like, okay. And then I was like, can I have my stuff back? I'll put it back in the car, right? And she's like, no, sir, like if you smoke this, I'm like, I'm not gonna smoke it now. I'm just gonna put it away. Like,
yeah, I won't smoke it now, but I will smoke it later.
Yeah.
If you give it back to me and put it back in my bag.
Yeah.
So give it back to me.
So I was just like, yeah, like let me just have it, and I'll put it back. And she's like, sir, if like if like we have cameras everywhere, if we see you like smoking on camera, you will not be allowed to come into the park. I'm like, I know that. Like, I'm not trying to be dumb. Like, I have self-control. Like,
Why? Oh gosh, it's so ridiculous. But at the same time, I get it. There's kids there and whatever else. But no, but that's cool.
Yeah, no, but like the dosage now is like I'm mellow. Like, and it's a
so
sustained.
There were probably a lot of people. I would guess to assume there were a lot of people on 420 that were at Disneyland on edibles.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, for sure. And then like there was like last week they had an issue because they had
I was able to sneak a vape in one time, and I allegedly smoked a vape on It's a Small World after all.
Nice.
Just so you know.
No, but like
allegedly,
like there's been like naked people at Disneyland again, like recently. Like people just like getting high on some other shit, and then like
listen, it is, guys. there's a lot of stuff going around. I stick to weed. I grow my own weed. I'm happy. I am happiest in my garden. I have realized that now, that there are a lot of things that I could be doing with my life. And chilling out, hanging out in this garden and watching these beautiful plants grow is probably one of the most chilling and fulfilling things I've ever done. I'm like, this was like my first day off in a minute, and I was just like, all I want to do is just chill and water the plants and look at them and see them, and because this too, like this part of the grow is like week 5 to week 6 to week 7 of flower, which is what both of these 2 tents are at.
Yeah, so give us the grow update. Like, give us the full.
Well, you saw the plants too. You saw the gelato, where you pulled your phone out and started taking pictures of it.
No, it's looking nice.
The what's the name of the gelato cross that you named?
Oh, the fuck Boston strain.
It's so aggressive, but it's the playoffs. We're in the playoffs now.
I don't know. I love the Lakers, but I don't know.
Oh boy,
we'll see.
I mean, we can talk a little pop culture as far as playoffs. I mean, the Lakers had it. We all know we because then we'll date this episode really really badly, but the Lakers doesn't look so good in the playoff picture right now. No,
the Lakers always have trouble in the playoffs. Like if they're struggling in the first round, like they're probably not gonna make it in the first round. Like make it past the first round. Like because I'm not even keeping up with it closely. Like,
I am, but we don't have to get into it. Anyhow, so with the grow, I am particularly excited about the gelato because it looks very much like the gelato that I first grew.
No, the bud formation is definitely a lot more intense on that one. Like
it's big.
Yeah, it's
a big tree.
Well, it's progressing very quickly. That's what I
observed. It's week 5 and it looks like it's week 6.
Yeah, it's moving along very fast.
And I'm just excited to see what week 6, 7, and 8 will look like. And then I'm pretty sure the first time I harvested gelato, I harvested it at the end of week 8. Whereas now I know I'm going to wait at least one more week, probably go to week 9, and then look to see if I, be patient. Excuse me.
No, like I said, like I think in terms of your process, your growing process, like I think you have this all down pat, right? Like it's becoming more unconscious. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
Like it's just becoming instinctual, or like you just know now.
I know the plants a lot more now than I did in a couple grow cycles, but at the same time, the rooted leaf nutrients, just the regimen that I have now, I've applied it to all the plants in the whole garden, and it's nice to be able to know that I have a little bit of a green thumb.
No, like all the plants are looking very healthy. They're looking good. You have a good number of clones. You might not let all of them go to
well, that's one thing I did want to talk about today is because I know I probably killed 3 plants, and I'm planning on killing probably like another 4.
Murderer.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad, but at the same time, it's also like, do I want to keep growing something that is showing signs of difficulty? Do I want to, because I have limited space and you have a limited plant count. So part of, growing is also realizing when a plant isn't going to cut it, and you have to it's got to make the team before it gets into the other tents.
Do you know, I think we talked about it in a past episode, but there's like this philosophy, or this there's this way of growing. I think it comes from Japan, where if someone grows like a certain crop, right, like or a plant, right, like they will pretty much like choose the best plant that they have, right, and then get rid of the rest.
Yep.
Like completely, just like, even if it's like a full crop, like they're just like, no.
If it's only one tree in an orchard of trees, it's just only one tree that produces good fruit. That's the one you want to cut and clone and then duplicate.
Yeah, that's the one you want to focus on. So I just like you're not doing it to that extreme, but like I just think it's I think it's kind of fascinating how, like, you had to make that call, like, every so often.
I mean, because you look at, like, even when I showed them to you, I showed you all the 6 gelato clones that are in there right now. And they're all still very small. All of them are still small. But there's 3 in particular that they look like they're about to grow. They're about to pop. Or in some cases, there's 2 which have already kind of started to veg, right? And then there's the other 3 that haven't really responded yet at all. And they're all cloned at the same time.
Yeah.
So you kind of know, okay, well, this one rooted very well and is growing and flourishing. This one did too. The genetics is thriving through here. And this one, it looks just like the mom. Okay, great. These are the ones I'm going to keep. These other ones, I'm not going to clone them. I'm not going to. I don't want to keep them for too much longer. Like I told you, I'm probably going to give it another week. If they don't pop, then I'm probably going to.
Do you get them. Like? Do you feel like in certain ways that you're gambling on things? Like,
yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I'm now at a point in growing, and especially in growing cannabis plants, where I can at least know what I like. Know what the traits that I'm looking for in as far as the plant, especially in its initial stages of veg. Like there's a seedling right now of blueberry muffin that I just popped, and it doesn't have any cotyledon leaves, and it's happened once before, and then that seedling eventually just died off. But this one's like showing a little bit of sign of like popping out leaves in the center of it, but there's no initial 2 bud leaves. Like
it's not forming.
It's not forming traditionally.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna let it grow for a little while. But if it keeps being this little weird sprout that doesn't have any leaves on it, well, I'm probably just gonna pull it and kill it because it's just taking up space, and then I'll just pop another seed. Because it just happens. Some seeds pop and grow into huge trees, and some seeds don't pop at all. So but that can get expensive in
The long
cannabis because at the average, whether it's Humboldt Seed Company, it's Homegrown Seed Company, who's another place, Cartier Crops, most places you're averaging about $8 to $10 per seed. So it's a $10 gamble every time you pop a seed into the soil or into a paper towel or into however you decide to plant your process. I mean, I always just like to go straight to soil because there was one cat I heard on a podcast. I won't take this quote as mine because it's just weird, but he said, God doesn't use a paper towel. And I was like, oh yeah, I get that. You just put a seed into the ground and see if it pops. That's kind of my method because there's a lot of people they'll put the seed in, soak it in water first, or they'll soak it in me, I like those. I like that. Just
if it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens. It's just a fun little. I love it. It's fun. It's anticipation every time I go into the tent to see. Oh, did it pop? Did it pop? Oh, it popped, but now it's weird. Or oh, it popped, and oh, look, it's popped. Oh, it didn't pop yet, and then I'm about to get rid of. Oh, it popped. Great. Like all that stuff. It's such an anticipation. It's so much fun.
I used to do the same thing. Like I had like one of those bird feeders, right?
Uh-huh.
And it had a bunch of different seeds.
Uh-huh.
And squirrels and whatever would get into it, and they'd like drop all the seeds into the pots, under my window.
And then some of them would sprout.
Yeah, you'd see like wildflowers, you see like sunflowers popping out.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was like, I get that.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and even now, like I even in just my regular, like my tomatoes and my cucumbers and my arugula, my cilantro. I'm gonna try to figure out some basil seeds, but like in everything that I mentioned, those were all popped from seed this time. I didn't buy the $5 to $10 already sprouted planted plants and put them in my garden. Mm-hmm. This time I sprouted them myself, and it saved me a shit ton of money. So that was a great thing. Also to have the my little perpetual grow setup where I have that little cloning seedling tent, and you don't have to just, although most of it is exclusively cannabis seeds and seedlings and clones, but I'd also have a cilantro plant in there right now. It's a really wonderful thing to be able to grow all your own stuff, and I'm in a really happy space in my life when it comes to that. Yeah, and it's that's why I think like the only process that I haven't really fully mastered, and I think it's more a matter of just mastering the changing of the weather and changing of the seasons and getting a more consistent storage space. But the drying process is still something that
it's a challenge. Still,
it's a challenge also because we don't have a cold room. We have a hot room.
It's getting warm. It's getting really warm.
Yeah, and you can see like there's a point in there where I have to have refrigeration to keep at least the bud that I'm storing out there cold.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point now with my wife with the fridge we have in the garage. I feel like she's resigned she's resigned to know that that fridge is mine now. For the most part.
So let's switch it up. Thank you for the grow update, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm excited for what's coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens.
So when are we expecting harvest?
Well, it's week 5 now, so I'd say another month. So it's harvest, and then
like
another...
June, July?
No, May.
May?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's 420 now. Well, 422. So, yeah, it's week 5, and so another 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it'll be May 20 something, and then a week or two to cure and dry, or probably 2 weeks to dry. We'll see.
Ooh, I'll be done with work by that time.
But we'll see. But that's part of where I think I need to purchase a Canna troll in May.
See what happens.
We'll see. But
You're going to book something. You're going to book something, and it's going to pay for all that.
Or Canna is going to hear my plea and maybe send us a free one. I don't know. That's just a shot in the dark. No, but I'm also trying to figure out a way to just solve the problem. You know? We'll figure it out. I mean, whether it's pulling the smaller tent inside for the, 10 days that it's drying. I know my wife won't like that, but...
Can't you put it in the garage?
That's even hotter.
Yeah.
It's even hotter in the garage.
Because there's no ventilation?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a dilemma. Like, that's part of the reason why a Canna seems like the best solution, but it's just an expensive solution.
I'm pretty sure, I'll do some research. I'm pretty sure someone on Reddit, is like, hey, you can just do this.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to... I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather just have it work right than... I just... If I can afford it and it'll make my life easier, then cool. If it's out of my reach, then it's out of my reach. That's kind of where I'm at with it, because it is expensive, but it's not without, if I put a little aside this month, put a little aside next month, I could probably buy it in June. It wouldn't be too bad. I just don't spend money on stuff, which I really, since I started growing, and that's even what they said to me when I went on 420. They were like, man, we haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, yeah, because I haven't needed to come in a while. I haven't seen them since January, since I got my license from them. So that was the last time that I saw them. And so, in January we were still smoking the October harvest, and then this February March harvest lasted until April, which sucked because the rains killed everything. But I didn't. Who knew? I didn't know. Storing a pound of weed in there during rainy season was going to cause all that mold. I mean, logic speaking, hindsight being 2020. When you say it like that, it sounds like I'm a fucking idiot. But no, but it also that wine fridge has slowly but surely gotten less and less effective too.
Yeah,
so
no,
that's part of it.
It's winding down.
It's getting to its last leg. So I should just throw that away and replace it with the new fridge. And I know that'll solve half my problems. But again, the main problem would be when I'm drying, you don't want it to get too hot in there. And we're already getting hot in there, and we're still in flower. You hope that the average temperature in there is still only about 77. So it's still, because it gets cold enough in the morning and in the evening and at nighttime where you're only hot for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But that 4 hours when you're drying, that's a bigger deal than when you're growing. Because when you're growing and it's hot, you can just water them, and the soil temperature, the leaf level temperature is what really matters in the tent. And when you have airflow and you have tents and you have fans going, you're good. Whereas again, when you're drying, even though you have fans going, it's still, you don't want your temperature to exceed, really, ideally, 65 degrees. But
that's so tough.
Yeah, of course.
Especially in friggin' Burbank.
Oh, especially in most places. Well, the places where it isn't tough, then you wrestle with it drying too quickly because it's too cold, or and there's not enough humidity in the air. Like in Colorado, where they talk about the Colorado dust of how it's like it just crumbles, the Colorado crumble, and how weed is so dry.
Is that what it is? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they're just it can be dry really quickly out there because it just dries quicker. And then Chicago dries differently than, and then New York dries different than their climate is different. Florida is stupid different because it's so humid down there. So you probably have to dry for 3 weeks. It's a struggle everywhere. So that's part of the reason. That's the allure of the Canna Troll, because it creates the ideal environment for your bud to grow right there, and you hang it, you dry it right there, and then it dries. You trim it and you put it in the jars.
You store it.
But ideally, if you could, you'd have 2 Canna Trolls if you have a big enough grow, or because you have one per. Well, I feel like you could get away with just using a fridge for storage, or a bigger, maybe even a mini fridge if you only have limited space. But yeah, I think you could get away with a fridge and you'd be fine.
I have friends that freeze their weed, like for storage sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
I'm kind of upset that I didn't freeze the weed in there, because you can just freeze it and then
thaw it out and then use it.
Yeah, or freeze it and then fresh frozen that shit, and then at least extract the. Now, oh yeah, we should talk about that. Like, we're about to try. We didn't try it yet, but the hashish, the bubble hash that I harvested from the outdoor plants, from the greenhouse plants. That was it was very fun. To be honest,
the blueberry smells like blueberry.
Blueberry is very distinct, and then the strawberry hash, I think, is still a little bit. It still needs to dry a little bit more, but I mean, the longer you wait on hash, the better it becomes. So I'm fine to wait on it, but I didn't roll it into a temple ball. It's just the dried up remnants of the bubble hash, and then I froze it again. Let it freeze, and then chopped it up, let it dry out in the fridge, and with a little parchment paper, and now it's just there. It's I'm excited because it looks like really nice hash. I mean, I don't know what really. I mean, no. The last time I remember hash was when it was like old hash. You remember old school hash back in the day? Have you ever had hash where it's like this, just like this block, like this black block?
Yeah,
and you're like,
looks like a piece of dark chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't. It's so hard, and you have to you take a razor, or you have to shave some off, and then you can put it on top of a bowl, or
I would always have that
joint.
I would always have that in my grinder. There was always a little.
Yeah, and that's basically what it ends up being. It's like this ground, this because hash it was a resin ball, but that resin ball ended up hardening, and then they chopped it up, or maybe it wasn't even a resin ball. It's probably just a sheet of heat pressed resin and rosin, and I don't even know is it resin? Is it rosin? I don't even know.
I don't know. I was seeing a bunch of tweets for 420, he is resin.
He is live resin. I was interesting. What was interesting about it being on Easter is that it won't happen again for another 62 years.
I would be dead.
I would be dead too.
I would be dead.
Unless weed makes you live longer.
No, well, I could possibly 102. I could possibly.
See, I'd be 112. So, I mean, it's possible.
Methuselah.
We'll see. Who knows? You never know. I mean, because humans could be living longer at that time because medical breakthroughs. You never know.
It used to be
we could live to 200 years old. Who knows?
Yeah, back in the day, it was you were lucky if you made it to 30.
Yeah.
That's why you had people getting married in their teens, 14, 16, starting families, and then that's crazy. Back in the day.
Well, no, there's still some older. Never mind.
That's different. That's different states. That's certain states.
That's just Drake.
That's just weird. Oh, he a fan.
Speaking of pop culture and Drake and all that stuff. Well, no, it's the weakest segue, but it's also the best segue. But we both saw Sinners.
Yeah.
This past 420 weekend / Easter's. We were both sinners.
Yeah.
On Easter weekend.
I saw it. You saw the first showing. You saw a matinee. I saw one of the last showings on Friday.
Okay.
But I felt I had to see that opening night.
Yeah, me too. I had to see it opening weekend at least, and then I saw it opening day.
It was a good movie, man. Like it just every time I see like any video with Ryan Coogler, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like in real life, if I were to meet him, I would do some stupid shit and be like, "Hey, what up, Cougs?" Like something like that.
Don't call him Cougs.
And then he'd be like, "Who the hell is this fool?"
Yeah, exactly. He would exactly say, "Who the hell is this fool?" And I'd be like, "Hi, Mr. Coogler. I'm not with him."
Hey, Cougs, put me in your next movie, dog. Like you just be like, "Who the hell? Who's this guy?"
No, I really enjoyed the movie Sinners. I mean, I enjoy all of Ryan Coogler movies. I don't think there's a movie of his that I don't enjoy. But I especially
he's still relatively young, which is amazing.
He's what, in late 30s?
Not
right?
even.
Yeah. No, not early, mid 30s.
Early 30s. Man.
Okay, well, good.
He's killing it.
Maybe he can put an older Filipino guy in one of his movies. That'd be great. No, I'm really excited to see Sinners again. Actually, I want to go see it again in the theaters because why not? And also, I can count on one hand how many times I've gone to see a movie multiple times while it was in its first theatrical run, like Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. I saw both of those like 2 or 3 times in the theater. Friday, I saw about 4 times in the theater.
What format did you watch it in?
Which one? Sinners?
Yeah.
IMAX.
Oh, see, I just watched standard. So like, if I watch it again, I want to watch it in a different format.
Yeah, I want to go. If I want to go again, I'm gonna probably go to the Chinese, the laser form, the lasers. You know, like the laser screening. I don't know what it just sounds fancier.
There's a bunch of different
picture
ones.
and the picture is crazy.
I want to see. I'd like to see it in IMAX or I think it's on 70 millimeter, but those are the hard ones to find.
Well, it's the Vista. The Vista
has it.
Yeah, here in LA.
But yeah, like I would like to. I heard like if you went to go see it, if you're gonna go see it this upcoming weekend, like now they're giving out like film strips, like film cells. Yeah.
They should have been giving those out already with us.
No, that's smart marketing though. You watch it and then it's like, hey, watch it in a different format. They'll give you a little like cell.
I will go for that weekend and I'm gonna go try and get me a cell.
Yeah.
Because anyway, I know this is a cannabis podcast, and I know that we usually talk about cannabis, and we got a big grow up. We had a big, huge grow update the whole way through this whole episode. But this movie, Sinners, is a great movie, and like there's probably some person listening to this think I can't get away from this movie. Everybody on the internet is talking about this movie. Well, there's a reason, because it's such a good. It really is a great movie.
Shout out to Miss Haley, Filipino queen.
She was great in that. She was really, and she's like an eighth Filipino.
No,
right?
she's like a mix of everything. That's why she's in this movie.
Yeah,
but
but she's amazing. She was amazing in this movie. Michael B. Jordan, he could just drop the B and just be the GOAT. He was pretty dang awesome in this movie.
Yeah. I liked his twin. I liked Michael C. Jordan.
Michael C. Jordan. That's a good one. No, I really did enjoy this movie very much. Minako, is it Minako? The other lady, the lady
her name was like Lee Jun Lee, I think.
No, not the Asian lady. The other,
Woonmi.
Thank you. Woonmi Minako. Is it her Minako?
I don't know what her last name is.
Anyway, Woonmi, she was awesome.
She was in Loki.
Yeah, she was in Loki. She was also in Lovecraft Country, which is also a great show. It's a good rewatch. I was going to rewatch that just to kind of get my little Sinners fix, because that Lovecraft Country was great. You know what Sinners reminded me of is a lot of Jordan Peele's movie, like Get Out. Like the way that Get Out was, like everybody was talking about it, and like there's this just this new twist on all these movies, and like whenever a really good African American director does horror, like Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler, this is his first thing in horror. Man, it's just
so like you know how like there was Oppenheimer. Mm-hmm. Right? People are asking for a double feature with Coogler and Peele.
Yeah.
Right? So like you'd watch
like a Grindhouse.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's what people
I would so well during the Sinners movie, him, the trailer for him, the football movie.
Oh yeah,
about Jordan. I don't know if Jordan Peele is directing that movie or if it's he's Monkey Paw.
I think it's Monkey Paw because I think it was written by someone else.
But that's an interesting movie. That looks like an interesting film too. I like horror movies. I've always liked horror movies. Maybe we should for the next episode we should do our favorite horror movies to watch while stoned.
Do you watch? I don't know if I watched horror movies. Well, no, that's not true. I watched Sinners and I was baked. I was super baked.
But that's just you watch all movies baked now.
Yeah.
but no, I wasn't too baked when I was watching Sinners because it was 11:45 in the morning. It was probably like just my wake and bake coffee joint, and that was probably. And then I went to go. Oh no, there was probably like a couple bowls too because I wake up early. But no, but I really enjoyed Sinners, but also, man, the day, I have to say it. So I was supposed to be at work when I was at Sinners. But Sinners was so good and so inspiring because we're artists here. We're artists here at the Canna Kuyas. I'm a stand-up comedian and an actor. Mitch is a stand-up comedian and an actor, also a director and a writer. I'm also a director and a writer. We're just a lot of things. And watching movies and stories like Sinners are always very inspiring. So when I pothead forgot that I was supposed to be at work and instead went to a movie, I didn't feel so bad because I was inspired and still very high, so it was great. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I'm.
There's definitely a lot to that movie that you can catch on a second or third or whatever, like viewing, like
for sure. But also, like, I feel like when, as an artist, you see a story and it's so good and it's so inspiring, you. Not only do you have to talk about it, but you also have to almost apply it to your own stuff. So like, even with this podcast that we have, like, this is our little foray into, you know what I'm saying? Like putting our story out there, and it's really nice when something comes together like Sinners, but it's also. It's just nice to know as an artist that you can just keep putting your stuff out there and keep putting your stuff out there, and hopefully one day you could do something like Sinners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I said, I'd love to work with the Cougs.
Don't call him
Cougs, I know.
Bro.
I would never. To his face, I would never.
Okay. So for next episode, I feel like, yes, you're going to get another grow update because you're getting into week 6 and week 7, but I think we should talk more about pop culture too.
Okay.
On this pod. What do you tell us? What you think? You should tell us if you saw Sinners. Review this episode. Review this particular episode. You could do that, and it would be great. You could subscribe to us because I think we upload on YouTube automatically. When I upload on Buzzsprout, it goes all over anywhere podcasts are available, so you can listen to us anywhere. But you could write a review on Spotify, or you could write a review on Apple Podcasts. You could do a lot of those things. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Or just shout us out on IG. Like let us know what you're up to.
Yeah, follow us at Canna Kuyas, and that's where you can see all of the video and pictures of the plants because we post it on our stories.
Yeah. So. You've been listening to the Canna Kuya podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm Mitch Narito.
And I am Eric Esteban.
And to all our marijuana ates and all our Canna Kuyas, stay lifted.
Yeah.
Stay elevated.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I got my hoodie on, now peep the chest as human catalyst. Downtown Chula Vista, on 3rd Ave where I go cop some shit. Fuck a thief. leave. So fuck zoomies, yeah, they whack ass jacket shit. Yeah, I move too swift, so I strike in silence. Fuck the violence, man, check my mileage, cause I got driving. First tour, I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, build an enterprise, move supersize. Y'all let shit like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, Cap, bring the loud pack. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run. Yeah, get the up or leave the fuck a Folgers. Little bitch, I made the beat and dropped the full verse. I just hit a steelo, I got dripped up. Package born and raised, bitch, I got dripped up. Y no se compara. Yo estoy con mi pana, se llama Trigger, fumando ganja. Estamos con Cali, fumando en Cali, yo sé que traen ganas. Ella me dice, papi, que terminamos la cama. Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. You can count on Trey, Cap, bring the loud pack. Get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run.
Yeah, we got hits like Tatis and Machado. Man, we know you're not a leader, cause all our moves you just follow, packing big bowls. You know we just scooped up that gelato, cause I smoke killer. My shirt iller, yo, ask our dealer, we the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I rarely rock designer.